What's up, Get Better Basketball community? I'm Coach DeMarco, and this is Focus. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite SSGs that I call Chicago. You're not going to want to miss this episode because Chicago is great for offense and defense. Before I jump into it, make sure you hit that like button down below, turn on your notifications, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great video content each and every week. Now, let's focus in on Chicago small-sided game. As I take you through the Chicago SSG, it's important to recognize what Chicago action actually is. It's very, very simple. It's a popular action used at the high school, college, and professional level that includes a pin down, as we see here, from 04 for 02, and then it's going to go into a dribble handoff. So 01 would dribble handoff after 02 gets a pin down from 04. It's very, very popular out of a horns alignment with two players at the elbow and two in the corners. It's also very popular out of a 5-out alignment. And we saw that from Loyola Chicago in the NCAA tournament, where they repeatedly use Chicago actions or some variation off of it. It's a great action. It's going to make your defense work to defend a pin down and a dribble handoff while also providing a small advantage for your offense. Let's check out the SSG. The Chicago small-sided game is very, very simple. We have 3 offensive players against 3 defensive players. You could also add in a 4th player, and you could put them over here in the corner if you wanted to. And the goal is to initiate Chicago action and build a variety of reads in for the players. Now, if you don't use Chicago action with your offense, this is a great small-sided game where you could really hone in on the defensive side of the ball. If you do use Chicago action, it's obviously a great way to build this pin down into a dribble handoff and the ensuing action off of it. When you run this small-sided game, if you're honed in on the offense, you can tell this defender here, I want you to come under this pin down and dribble handoff. It should give this player an opportunity to get the dribble handoff, catch and shoot. You can tell them to fight over the top. It should create a small advantage. You could tell the defense to switch D2 to D1, which again, depending on the personnel, because a lot of times you run this out of a horn set with more of a post player here, this could create a mismatch for your team. So there's a lot of different ways you can run this SSG with an offensive focus. On the flip side, you could also run it with a defensive focus, where you tell the offense, I want you to try to turn the corner. I don't care what this defender does. I want you to try to get downhill and get to the basket. Or you could just let this offensive player make a read based on what the defender does. You might tell the defender, you're always going to fight over the top. Should create a small advantage for the offense. And the rest of the defenders have to work in unison to defend this action. As I said before, you could advance this small-sided game by adding a corner shooter or a corner and a wing player. So you could add a shooter over here. Technically, you wouldn't have 5 players for a small-sided game. You could, and you could add a 5th player and then just initiate the action and then play off of it. So there's so many different things you can do. And when I play small-sided games, I love to score them for the simple and small things that really make a big difference. For example, deflections on defense, defensive rebounds on offense, offensive rebounds, making the extra pass or one more, if that's something that you're trying to work on. You can really highlight anything you want, and that's the great thing about small-sided games. But Chicago is one of my favorites because it forces the defense to defend multiple screens while also creating a small advantage for the offense. Whether you use Chicago action or not, this is a great small-sided game for your team. As you can see, I love Chicago action because it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Are they going to try to switch this action? Are they going to try to fight over the top of it? What are they going to do to defend the pin down into the dribble handoff? At the same time, it creates a small advantage for the offensive player and allows them to get into the paint. Or if the defense comes under those screens, they're going to catch and they're going to look to shoot. So this is a great small-sided game, as I said before, that you can use whether you run Chicago action or not. If you like this SSG, make sure you hit that like button down below, turn on your notifications, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great video breakdowns each and every week. As always, get better every day. If you want to knock down shots out of Chicago action or any action that you run with your team, then make sure you invest in a brand new Dr. Dish all-purpose shooting machine. Mention hashtag GBetBBChat or the Get Better Basketball Chat for up to $300 off select Dr. Dish shooting machines.